Super Dave here with another review. Thundercats! Ho! Super Dave here with another exciting Thundercats review by Super 7 and Ultimates this time. We only got 2 in this wave, but excited to take a look at King Lion-O. Just take a look at this figure. Now, we got a King Lion-O in Mundo, if you got the timed edition deluxe version of it with the crown and the cape, and that was really the first look we've ever gotten of an action figure that I recall, even though it was 1/6 scale, that had the crown and the cape and had him king. And I guess that tipped off Super 7 and like, we've got to get one out. I don't know, but he's looking incredible here. This time, instead of artwork, we actually get the action figure posed here on the front and on the back. That's the action figure. You can see the joints and stuff. But he's looking dynamic. There is a bio. If you'd like to pause and read that now, you certainly can. But let's go ahead and break open our King Lion-O over here inside of the cat's lair, where everybody, as it says, everybody has shown up to honor him on this special day. Come on Third Earth inside of the cat's lair, and let's check him out. And here we are inside of the cat's lair, where everyone has come to meet up together to honor Lion-O as he has passed the tests and will now be anointed as King Lion-O, officially the Lord of the Thundercats. Dun, 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Ba bum bum ba bum 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 bum.
Oh, Snarf, Snarf, you look so good, Lion-O. Oh, King Lion-O.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Lion-O, you have earned this and now have accepted your rightful place.
And let's first take a look at our Lion-O's accessories. And first of all, Lion-O comes with 2 sets of hands. He comes with 2 grappling-looking open hands with claws that are horizontally hinged. And then he comes with a set of vertically hinged weapon-holding hands. Both the left and right are vertically hinged, which is nice. He comes with 2 head portraits. He comes with a just regular kind of stoic face. Regular face with crown glued on, and then he comes with a smiling face with the crown glued on. So you might say, well, how did you get Chitara in this part of the video holding the crown? Well, what I did is I soaked it in hot water and broke the glue, and then just kind of carved the glue off and made it where I could take off his crown. So it does not come that way, but I soaked it in hot water, in boiling hot water, twice. It took me, I had to work it, off, and did have to cut some of the glue, but yeah, it still looks good, as you can see there. I can put it on or take it off. So I chose to do that head because I didn't want to mess up this head, because I figured this is the one I'd use the most. But I really like the smiling face head as well. But that's how I was able to have a crown, a removable crown. So that's a tip. And then of course your glow-in-the-dark sort of omens. And then you do get a claw shield. That's the smaller claw shield that does not have the peg up in there. You just have to pressure it on. But it is the metallic, shiny metallic one that allows him to hold the sword. And then he comes with a sleeping sort of omen. He did not come with this. That came with a different set. Trying to remember what it came with. I know what it came with. It came with Lion-O's daddy. That's what it came with. I forgot about that. Claudius. Came with Claudius. But anyway, I went ahead and brought that out and to put it on there, so that's cool. But anyway, the cape is removable. There's just some peg holes, but once you pull them out, it is hard to get them back in. So I just warn you on that. And of course, he has a different belt, and he does not have the peg thing. When you saw that on his side earlier, with the cape on anyway, that was me using, well, the first time you saw it, it was me using this Lion-O that does have the peg, that has the glowing eyes, and then when you saw it with him having the crown on, that was just some putty holding it on there. And then he came with this wooden stick, which I think is what he used to defeat Mum-Ra. I'd have to go back and look at the episode entitled Lion-O's Anointment, the Final Day, the Trial of Evil episode. And he has to defeat Mum-Ra without using the claw shield and the Sword of Omens. And of course he's able to do that. And I believe, like I said, that he used this stick. Anyway, this stick fits in somewhere or another. So you get two head portraits, both with the crown. He gets the cape that is removable, and he gets the claw shield, the Sword of Omens that's asleep, and two sets of hands, and then a glow-in-the-dark Sword of Omens. We do not get a regular Sword of Omens sword this time, but we do have plenty of them, unless this is your first time ever having a Lion-O. But yeah, again, these helmets are glued on, but they are glued on super tight. So do it at your own risk. But I chose this head, and I took it and I boiled the head in boiling water and was able to peel it off. Had to cut some of the glue off on the inside, but it does work great. So I was able to do that and have a removable crown. So that's cool. That way I don't have to buy a second one just so I can cut the helmet off. That's what I was wondering. But no, I've got enough Lion-O's, and so this one works great, and I do have the removable crown because I removed it that way. So that's cool. I wanted a removable crown, just personally. But now let's take a look at his articulation. Then it's time to take a look at his articulation, moving him on in here a little bit closer. You're going to be able to see that he will look up pretty decent amount there. That's excellent. He will look down a good amount, and he will get some nice head pivot. So that is nice. Very good. So you get a pretty good, decent motion there and side to side. And again, this helmet is, the crown is glued on, and the cape is removable, but the cape does have wire, so you can bend it and shape it however you desire. And it goes all the way around the edge on the side and the bottom, the sides and the bottom. So that's really cool. Nice cape too, really nice quality cape. Dual layered, nice seam, nice stitching, just very good quality. Arm will go full 360. You'll be able to get a T-pose. You do have bicep swivel, single jointed elbows that do have the elbow swivel there. He dropped his sword, but as I was showing you before, he does have vertical hands and swivel, of course, on here. So that works good. And then as far as his diaphragm, let's see what he'll be able to do. He's not going to be able to crunch forward too much from the diaphragm. Let's see here. He'll be able to go back just slightly, but this is a ball joint right here. So if you incorporate the two of them, he'll be able to crunch forward a little bit more and bend back a little bit more there, as you can see. And then he's also going to be able to get some side-to-side motion if you join both the ball joint and the diaphragm. You're not going to be able to turn at the diaphragm, but you are going to be able to rotate and turn at the waist at that ball joint. So that's cool. So you're going to pretty much be able to get, you know, slightly a hula hoop, but it is limited. It's not, you know, the best we've seen. This one struggles with the same problem that we saw with the light up eye Lion-O and the retail Lion-O, is that part pinches his diaper or his briefs here. So you really have to kind of be careful with that. But he will get full splits. He does have built up in there full thigh rotation. He will be able to kick up a really good amount. He does have single jointed knees, and be very careful, because I almost broke the peg in this one because my knee on this side was locked up. So I used the hair dryer and I was able to break that joint. It's a single joint, but you're gonna have to make sure it's not locked up on you or you'll break that peg going down in here. But that's as far as that will bend, not even 90 degrees. And then it will have that knee swivel there on that peg. And let's see, no, we do not get boot cut on this model here. You have excellent rockers with a peg hole in the bottom. So that's what you're looking at. And like I said, these joints are very tight at the knee. So be careful that you do not break your peg. Now, the claw shield, again, does not have a peg in there. It does have a peg hole, but no peg. So you're just going to have to depend on the pressure of that going on there, which is fine. But it is like that. So there you have it. Now let's go ahead and look at the other head articulation. And so here is our smiley face head. And it is different because it does not go up any like the other one does. But you are going to be able to go down. Let's see if it'll get... It doesn't get as good a head pivot. For some reason, this hair is hitting... I guess it has a different hair because it's hitting the sides here. I hope it's not something I did when I was melting it. Maybe I shifted it down some. I'm not sure. But it's not going to go up. It will go down, and it really doesn't get the head pivot like the other head did. So unless I did something to it melting it, that's as good as it gets. And again, I melted the head down enough to be able to peel off the glue, this glued on helmet, so I could have a removable helmet. But it stays on perfect. And stays on perfectly. All right, but that is your articulation. Now let's do some comparisons. All right, here is our glowing eyes Lion-O, which is very similar to the retail one, except the retail one had lighter skin than even this, and of course did not have the glowing eyes. Like this one is glowing there. And then this one is also more like the retail version, but it does look like the abs are a little different, or is that because of the tan? But he is definitely more tan. This one was more tan than the retail version. This one is tanner than the glowing eyes version. And it's a little bit more of an orange than even what we got in our original Classics Mattel version here. And then here is our 3.0 Lion-O, Classics Lion-O. That's my favorite right here. A little bit more of a matte finish. Better looking hair, in my opinion, as far as the shading and the color. I like the fact that we have the metallic sword. And I just like his overall look. He just has the quality, and of course, no pins for the Classics. First time we got a Classics with no pins. Now this one's pinless too, but this is more like the new version that goes along with, as I've been saying, the Rankin Bass cartoon from the 1985. and 86. This is kind of in that line, to look more like that. The simplicity, lower details. We got more detail and shading, in the classics. And of course, you remember the belt is different. See, this belt is the regular lino belt, and this belt, because remember, with each test that he passed, he got the Thundercats logo, their belt piece. They would take it off of their belt, or in this case with Chitara off her chest, and off of Tigra's chest, and on the case with the kids, Wily Kit's chest and Wily Cat's belt. So that they would take those off and give them to him, and he would put them on his belt, representing that he had passed their test. So that's why the belt is different there. But that's really neat. I love that attention to detail. And so looking great. But there is our lino, and of course, he's got the helmet, and then he's got the cape, which is different. We've not really gotten a lino with a cape before, so that's definitely different as well. So looking cool. And again, this lino does not come with a regular sort of omens. Instead, he comes with, and I'm charging it up here, he comes with a glow-in-the-dark sort of omens. It's hard to tell in the dark. That's a little better. Just doesn't last very long, but it does glow. I'll have to try the black light. Oh yeah, there's the black light. You can definitely see that under the black light it does glow, so that's cool. And you could probably charge it better with a black light, but I held it under a very bright fluorescent type light for a while, and then took you to a totally black room, and it just didn't show up very much. Almost lost its glow within seconds of me getting there, but under a black light it definitely glows good. And here is our lino, along with our Panthro, Chitara, Tigra. There's Snarf, Wily Kit, Wily Cat. There is Robert Beale, and our police officer of Third Earth, and even Ghost Jaga. Basically our season 1 cast, and they're looking great alongside of our King Lionel here. Looking awesome. And here is our King Lionel next to our Masterverse Revolution battle armor without the armor. Instead, the regular armor type chest armor there with a Horda MX head sculpt. And he is looking good next to this new King Lionel, but I almost thought maybe he would look even better beside our Filmation inspired Club Grayskull Super 7 He-Man, which is patterned after the Filmation cartoon, because he, being this King Lionel, is more like the Rankin Bass cartoon style in form and in simplicity, that this He-Man looks good with him as well. Looking really good here. And just because these ladies are so beautiful with their new head sculpts, let's go ahead and throw in our 2000X Tila, thanks to Horda MX head sculpt there. And I've got a review up on these if you want to check that out. And the new She-Ra head that I got from him recently. And they are looking great alongside of King Lionel. And even Robert Beale over here, looking cool next to our new Lionel here. Looking good. And here is our Lionel, King Lionel, next to the guard from Thundera. Thundera guard guarded the cat's lair on Thundera, which was their home planet. But I want to be able to use this guy, so I'm putting him in the cat's lair on Third Earth. But here is our Raphael and Leonardo, the most amazing turtles to date, in my opinion, or as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's the only ones that I have too. And I've got Michelangelo and Donatello on the way from China. But hey, let's throw them in here. They're looking awesome, and I have a review up on them if you want to take a look at them. But there they are beside our new King Lino. And here he is alongside of mentor and friend Panthro, and Lino's looking good next to him. Now, I have not ordered. I'm hoping that they will, Super 7 will release a either retail version of him, but I've not ordered that special Thunder tank. That's the toy line Thunder tank that comes with a more Rankin Bass cartoon simplistic looking Panthro, but I still like this Panthro if he does have pins in his arms and legs. We have not got a pinless Panthro unless you were to order that toy version of the Thunder tank, but I've already got the Thunder tanks. I'm not ordering another one. But they're looking good together, and he's advising him and talking to him here. You're gonna make a good king. All right, before we go, I do want to do a quick head swap and see if you can use this Lino head on our regular Classics 3.0. Maybe you prefer this Lino body, but you would love to be able to use this head. Let's see if it works, because you could always, put a different cape, even one of the plastic capes from Marvel Legends. I've done that before. You could always do a different cape, and you could even maybe modify and make this one fit on there. Even though there is going to be pegs in the way, because those pegs go down in holes, so they're not, unless you drill holes, you're not going to really be able to work that. But where there's a will, there's a way. But anyway, I was going to check and see about the head swap. Let's check and see it. Okay, with a little putty, you could definitely put that head on the new body, but you're not going to really be able to fit this one. The peg is just too tall. Looks like he's, his neck is stretched out. It's Mecha Neck Lino. No. But seriously, that's that's not quite working there. Let's try it on an older body, because I think some of the older Classics Linos didn't have as long of a peg. Let me see. And I was correct. Your older Classics Lino has a shorter peg, and now the peg ball itself is smaller than the hole for this, so you have to use some putty, some tacky, like some of you know about that. But and the skin tone is of course off. This has more of an orange tone to it compared to these other Lino Classics. But if you wanted to do it, you could, and in the lighting it's not too noticeable. I'm sure you could make it work. But yeah, you could have that head and put it on a Classics body if you wanted to. And thank you so much for joining us for another Super Dave review. It has been fun taking a look at this King Lino, and I appreciate you coming and taking a look at all that we're doing here. We're going to be looking at our next Lunatac Red Eye that came with this Lino and this wave soon. But thank you again for joining us. Be blessed. Here are some photos in the photo gallery.
Why did the penguin bring a suitcase to the party? because he wanted to break the ice.